Hello, 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 and hello. Blue Fox, how's it going this evening? I thought you were playing Aliens with Malchus. You are. So you're lurking over here? Is that what you're saying? Thanks for the lurk. Appreciate it. Sure you don't watch me fix this awesome arcade board? This is manufactured and looks like $1981. It's actually pretty clean. The show. The problem I have is I don't have this connector. Gives me that. But power comes in this way. Alright, so problem is it does not boot. So we have CPU, sound. This board is most likely nothing but sound. I don't know if I'm going to get anything done with this music playing. Let's see what the note says. Ship to. Okay. This has absolutely nothing to do with this part. Alright. This is a pretty jamming music. Unfurled. Okay, some more penises. Penis. They're not even the good kind either. Never ship with white. Ugh. Always use pink. Alright, so we have dual clocks, more RAM, another CPU, bunch of RAM, Bodge wire from 1981. Good news is this supposedly doesn't boot, which could be easy to fix. Those are the easy ones. But first, oh, there's two connectors on there. Oh no, this is killing me. Killing me, Smalls. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna have to look at the schematic here. Or the owner's manual. Alright, so this folds out this way, and that one folds out this way. So I'm going to move some stuff around here. Don't need Commodore stuff. Or these power bricks. Solder all the way. All right. My desk isn't big enough. Quick, someone send me a bigger desk. All right. See if I can zoom out here a little bit. All right. So we have a CPU here, which is most likely driving the audio section. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 audio chips. We have an 82S09, which looks like it has a bunch of stuff coming in over from the audio chip. That's I believe that's a PAL. Here we have a bunch of RAM. More RAM. 1 gal. Or PAL. It's probably a PAL. Two RAM chips. And then over here we have another CPU on this board, which you can't see because I'm in the way. Let's make me disappear. You know what? I'm going to drag the info box into here. It really belongs in here. Oh, I just unscrewed this all up. Oh, what did I do? So, this board here got the CPU, program ROMs, another ROM, RAM, RAM, RAM. Composite sync signal right here. We have some crystals and clocks. Some more RAM. You got a reset, read jumper. So this here looks like pure power. Which is good. We have 2 ground leads. Does not look like we have a 5-volt test header. 5-volt. We have clock pulse. On this side we have power on this header. We probably don't need to worry about any of the negative and plus 5 volts because I don't see any actual chips that require those except for maybe the audio section. This looks like all I/O. Maybe video. Again, you see it wasn't booted up, so we're not going to worry about the video. What we'll do is we'll apply power to the board, see if we have any signals coming off the CPU. If it looks like it's the CPU is working, then we'll start trying to figure out how to hook video up. Since I do have this header here, which will give me the ability to connect up video wires. What I need to do is I will need to go ahead and find the manual for this guy. All right. All right, here's the manual. Make sure there's no diff switches. That's cute. You have the ability to turn on and off the display of 1982. Interesting. Let's just hope this manual has a schematic in it. That is going to make this difficult. Evil power supply. ROM board. It's going to be so weird if that ROM board is way over there. Let's look at the schematic and see what's going where. Hope we can find it all. That be upside down. Alright, that's the schematic of this ROM board right here. That's the schematic for this board right here. I think we have a data bus here, which feeds these chips here, which are used to feed the address bus of the ROMs. I count more than one ROM. There's ROM 1, ROM 5. Where's all the other ROMs? Oh, so they drew out the ROM here, and then for space they just drew these here. So these addresses feed in, or the data bus comes in, data 0 through 7. There's an extra ROM jumper that looks like extra phase. I don't know, can't read it. So those are your ROM inputs. They select, they take whatever's on the data bus, puts it on the ROM. That selects the addresses. The data then all comes out and gets outputted through here. Looks like the high bit addresses control which actual ROM is outputting data. So this is a 8-socket ROM board, which could technically be replaced by one modern ROM chip, and an LS1. Yeah, you could easily replace this with, like, still have 5 of these chips, but you can replace all this with one chip. Alright, so we go to the CPU board. CPU, we have a standard CPU, Z80. goes into a mux buffer. Always output. There's no input on the address. It's all output. So they're just using this as a buffer, which is where they're using. Looks like 374 LS 357. IC40, IC27, and IC15. These three guys right here. This is these three chips right here. 1, 2, and 3. Oh look, there's some text on the screen still. Hidden text. Alright, so we have... So if there's an issue with the data getting on the address bus, it is most likely caused by these chips here, because they can't drive the address bus. So we'll want to check the outputs of these chips and see if they're counting. They feed the ROMs directly, along with what appears to be some RAM. So this RAM chip here is a low power RAM chip which is energized by a battery to save your high scores, most likely. This has high score saving. Doesn't look like it has, doesn't look like a low power ROM, so does not look like it has high score save. I'm not sure why they're doing that, but that is 14. This board does not use the typical this doesn't use typical row column designators for the chips. It just goes IC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way through the board, which is kind of easy. Just sucks for the schematic because you got to draw 41, 28. So address comes in, directly talks to the RAM, directly talks to all the ROMs. Let's see how the ROMs are addressed. So these output to, all these are the address selectors. They're most likely tied to something coming off of the address bus right here. This guy, number 76. Hopefully 76 is not a pal. Alright, 76 apparently is a standard 74 LS138, which is good. So there's no special crazy address decoding. Same with this guy. This is an LS157, standard address decoding. So there's no crazy bank switches or anything like that. There could have been chip reduction. You could replace these two chips with a PAL chip and taken all these inputs and then driven your outputs. Thankfully they did not do this, so we are good there. So we'll check these outputs to see if they're driving the EEPROMs. Our address bus, or data bus here, which comes out of all of the RAM, ROM, everything like that, comes through. We apparently have what appears to be not buffered to the CPU side, but looks like we do have it buffered to... Okay, so there apparently is an address bus and instruction data bus. Instruction, you know, like instruction. Everyone knows what an instruction is. It obviously means instruction, not instruction. Instruction! So here are two buffers, which then feed the data bus, and then the data bus probably is what talks to everything else. So let's go over to the next page. This does not look like enough chips for this board. Time reset. Let's look at the clock. Let's see what's first through here. We got crystal here. So the 8 megahertz crystal's there. There's also a 16 megahertz crystal. We have a time reset and a P reset. So here's a reset, tied to a sync bus. Another reset signal. A lot of reset signals going on here. Our clock. Our clock is derived from the 8 megahertz crystal. So the sync bus here. So most arcade games, video games, or anything of the late 80s, the CPU would update the screen RAM on the completion of the screen draw. This is apparently done via an interrupt signal going into the CPU. So it's using the single interrupt on the CPU to trip the routines to update the video RAM. So you can see here it says sync bus. B blanking 11 hits this clock signal, and most likely is then fed into the interrupt to get how to update the video RAM. I can only assume. I haven't really, looking at it for the first time in my life. CPU board 2. So we have a data bus with a shitload of 374s. Then feeds a sync bus, 124, what? 7 something for H bus? So here's what's interesting is these inputs. Okay, so here, so another horrible drawing. They put this pH2 over here on this side, going through this line when it really doesn't go through this bus. So it's kind of outside this bus. So these all control when these chips latch the address bus. So they're all actually tied to the same bus. Like this pin, and 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 this pin are all connected to each other. And they won't, this data on this side won't match this data unless this output enable pin is tripped. And it's latched via the clock. So these have output enables controlled. These ones are always low. So I have to look and see what this pin is. I can't tell by looking at this schematic. I don't know the 374 off the top of my back of my head. So those are all hiding 4, 5, 6, 42, 43, and 44. So 4, 5, and 6 are here on this board. And then 42, 43, and 44 are right here. So it looks like this schematic here is CPU. Okay, so it's the CPU PC board is all for. So these 3 pages of schematics are just for this board. So this schematic is just for the CPU, board. A lot of bus logic here. Get some RAM. There's the CD bus. So we have data being bussed into this 124H bus. No idea what that is. Then going into a set of 367s, which then feed another data bus of some sort that's not labeled, which really sucks. Here's our horizontal counters. Address 8, 16, 32, 64. So as these count, it'll draw most likely these addresses. These will be tied into an address bus, which will be tied into the RAM. Most likely here's some RAM. Can't really tell. So these clocks will go into here. The address bus looks like they can latch the clocks. So they want to go to a certain address. And then there's the read and writes. So these are the RAMs. Okay, so this is how this works. These clocks are coming from somewhere. Most likely from the sync bus. So sync bus stands for anything with a horizontal and vertical counters. So see the vertical counters? The horizontal counters, those are all coming from the sync bus. So the horizontal counter is going to count up to however many horizontal dots there are. The vertical counter is going to count up the number of vertical dots or vertical rows or columns, and it'll reset back and keep going. Now, the RAM is dual port, but back in the 80s, they had no such thing as dual port access memory. So what they had to do was only when this input here, SCRQ, whatever, I can't read it, is pulled high or low, not sure what it is, I have to look, it'll either take this data and latch it to here, or this data from the address bus and latch it here. So whenever the CPU can directly write to the RAM, and it does that doing that interval refresh, and it will do it and select the address on this bus, and then it will write the data to the RAM. The good thing is it might mean the CPU can read the RAM, but not necessarily the case. We don't know yet. I see data bus. So these are the addresses coming in. This is the data bus. Let's go back up here. The CPU page. Here's this data bus. Yes. So the CPU can read and write the video RAM, which is good, so that we can actually test this RAM in circuit using the fluke. We hook the fluke up to the CPU, and we'll be able to access the 2114 RAM, which is 72 and 73, which is hiding over here. These two chips here. So the CPU can read and write this memory based on what I see on the schematic. Alright, let's see how the video vertical works. We have vertical counters coming into some 383s. Some more 383s. Some more counters. looks like the 2116 at address 56 and 57. So the 56 and 17, which is right here, looks like they're over here on this guy right here. These two chips here. Those two chips are driven by the CA bus. It looks like the CA bus is driven by both the horizontal and the vertical counters. So, but I don't see them being driven by, nope, they're driven by the address bus right here as well. So we have horizontal 128. Yep, so these are all address 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All those addresses feed these three F-157s. G's are always tied low. I don't see what is... Okay, so here's this S signal is what's driving all this circuit here. Is so you have a read, a write, read. So all this is driving the S input on these three L-157s. So these 157s are getting the shit beat out of them. So we have vertical counters coming in, horizontal counters coming in. So these two 2116s are actually used for the screen RAM. I don't know what these ones are used for. So these are definitely video. This is definitely this character display bus probably. There's still no label on this one. It's definitely not system RAM because it's tied in the counters. So there might be foreground graphics and background graphics. But these only have horizontal addresses on them. There's no verticals. So this might be like color RAM. Ah, okay. Yes. Screen color. So this is what's controlling the screen color. So if the screen had broken colors, most likely these two chips. Which is similar to a Commodore 64. Commodore 64 uses a 2114 for screen color. So this is what defines the color on the screen. This is what's displaying the character data. Alright, so we're over this board. Again, here's our counters. Those are 5 volts of ground coming in. This looks like a clock circuit here. We still haven't figured out where that 16 megahertz crystal is. Thinking the 16 megahertz crystal is being used to drive the counters. So if the counters are broken, this thing ain't gonna do shit. So the CPU could be running, but it will never update the screen if the counters are broken. I also need to see if I power this board from here. What I might be able to do is just hook this board up by itself, unhook these, because this is just a load. And then see if I'm getting a working CPU on this. This might not actually need any of this to work. So we have the address bus going over this P connector, which is this connector here. This connector here. So the address bus looks like it's on this connector. Awfully a lot of pins. Because they were smart. So yes, this is a huge ass connector with a huge amount of pins, but looks like they were smart and maybe did a little. No, they're ever been used. So we're missing something here. Here's all the P's over here. So we have my mouse. So there's P's, some more P's. These are all on Q. CH. Counters are going over on Q. More Q. Looks like more clocks. Probably sounds like maybe sound control. Alright, we still need to figure out where this clock signal's coming in from. There's our comp sync pin that's going out. So it looks like mostly all of the data so we do have an output enable. I don't see DIR or direction pins on these. This one looks like a directional chip. Character data bus. Another character data bus, but that looks like read. So look, it does. Oh, well, it does have to be able to read because of the IOs on this board for the controller input. So we might, like I said, we might still be able to disconnect these two boards here. Might be able to disconnect these two boards and just work on this single board by itself. And diagnose to see if it's booting and running, if the clock's running on it, and so forth, without having to hook all this all up. This board here, so the only thing I can think of is this game will load. These are all RAM chips. Most likely this game will boot and it will load compressed ROM data into the RAM for it to be displayed. This whole board probably just handles nothing but screen graphics. This is the video card basically, and this is the sound card, and probably sound IO, or using the IO. This using the interrupts on all these. These 8910s have inputs, so this board here is most likely handling all the sound, and it's also handling user input, and it will send the user input back to this board. This is all video graphics, the video RAM. This is the character ROMs, which will most likely be uploaded at boot from this board. So when there's a new stage, it will just upload some uncompressed data, or vice versa. I mean, no idea. That way they're using, so only one of these equals two of these. game could just sit on one chip. And then they could use 3 of these to fill this for one part of the game, 3 of these to fill another part of the game. Don't know. I have no idea. They could have compressed the data and then overloaded it over to here. They could dynamically draw the data. Let's carry on to the schematic. Alright, we're now on to the video PC board. So we have character data, we have an address bus, CDR bus. Object to video bus, background data bus, no idea. Okay, oh, blue data bus, green data bus, red data bus. Character data red, character data red. Still says CDR. So these, the CDR bus updates the colors on the color bus. Oh my god. SCB bus. SCG bus. SCR bus. Screen? Screen red, screen blue. There's separate data buses for each color. And then we have an object video bus. Okay, so the 9342s here are being used for, so these here are used for object RAM, positioning data. So we have, over here we have character data bus, right here, feeds a red bus, a green bus, green data bus, a blue data bus, then we have a screen blue data bus, then we have a screen green and a screen red, then we have another, so we have a line data bus, which is basically the data bus for each line. Then we have an object video bus, which is the actual objects. Object video bus drives these two 934022s. Not sure what that foreign funky symbol is. There's the line data bus again. Sync bus, which is going to be your counters. So then we have a counter, and then we have our object data going and get muxting coming through here, going into the coordinate RAM address bus. So the coordinate address bus most likely is going to interface to something. Oh my god. I didn't see these 6116s ever being referenced on this page. Anyway. Did I just miss it? I mean, we're on the video Video PC board. Are these 6116s just on here for looks? I don't see them anywhere. Oh, is it in? Yes. Well, there is this RAM, which is being driven by the code RAM address bus. No, and then the outputs are being driven. I have no idea. That looks like voodoo to me. Game PC board schematic. 1 of 7. There's 5 for these two. 7 for this one? Oh, yeah, it's just a lot more bigger. So this is the game PC board. It's all handling sound data bus. Inputs are all going to these 273s, which goes into an external data bus. Mode address bus. What I need to do is figure out where the color, all the color goes together to make the video screen. Hopefully it's done over here on, hopefully it's done on this board. Hello, Shibby. How are you? How are you this evening? How was your Labor Day weekend? Yes, you are a mod. I am good. I got a little sunburn. I was at Disney all weekend. I picked up myself some Disney ears. Here, I got myself some Disney ears. I also got some sunburn. So yeah. Oh, I walked 9 miles on Saturday, 9 miles on Sunday, and I walked, I think, another 6 miles today. And I wasn't too smart today because I forgot to put my sunblock on. And then when I got home, I got a little. I took my shirt off. I'm like, I got farmer's tan. So yeah, little red here on the arm. Not too bad. Well, I got pick this guy up. He talks in French or English.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Rémi. Je vais t'apprendre à faire la cuisine. Allez, c'est parti. Tout le monde peut cuisiner, mais seuls les plus téméraires peuvent espérer devenir un jour chef.
And he speaks in English.
Anyone can cook, but only the fearless can be great. I want to make things. Each flavor is totally unique. Combine one flavor with another, and something totally new is created.
So that's him. That's my Disney Disney ensemble. Let me see if I can show the. Oh, you can see their heads. Hang on. Move this camera. Where is that camera at? Where's that camera at? Oh, here it is. There they are. My Disney crew. Yeah, that's my Disney cue. So yeah, that was my weekend. Got home a couple hours ago. Oh, and then I got these guys up here too. I got. Oh no, Mr. Bill. And Bob Ross. Hello. Yeah, so this guy was given to me. I was out in Texas, out at our Irving, Texas office years ago, and one of the ladies that worked there had this on her bench, and when I'd always call, she'd always say, "Oh no, it's Mr. Bill." It's like, "Bill, no." So I was there, and I'm like, "Oh, is this why you always say that?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like that would look great on my desk. And then when I got back to my office, it was in my backpack. I'm like, I called her, did you put Mr. Bill in my backpack? And she's like, I sure did. So she gave it to me. So that's from a person in Texas. So yeah. So I'm working on a arcade board from 1981. So I'm just reviewing this. I've never worked on this board in my life, so I am reviewing the schematic, and that's what this sheet of crazy crap all over the screen is. Yep. So have fun, work away. So I'm just chilling out, reading the schematic. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be doing this. Probably I'm meeting a friend for breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'll probably bail early, but you don't have to. I'm just actually more talking than I'm actually doing anything else. I actually need a power adapter, so I'm trying to figure out what I can separate off this board in order to work on it. This thing's 40 years old, so, and it doesn't work at all. So one of these mini chips could be bad. But I'll let you go. I'll let you get back to lurking. Enjoy your game. Playing Life 2. I've never played Life 2. Is that a board game or a video game? Cool. I loved playing Life as a kid. I'll let you go lurk. Don't sit here and. No, you're not lame as fuck. No, not at all. Not one bit. Don't say that. Not one bit. You are far from lame. But you have fun with your friend. I'll get back to this. But if you want lame as fuck, tomorrow night I'm playing golf with Malcast. We're gonna stream some golf in PGA Tour 2012. So we'll be playing that tomorrow night. So if you want to watch some lame as fuck shit, but tomorrow night, I hope to see you there. Alright, back to the schematic for anybody else who's actually in chat, listening and watching. So we are going to look for how the video is combined. Is this a gun game? Alright, we just jumped to the CPU for sound section. Here's the sound mixer. Mix all the sounds together. That page was intentionally left blank. Alright. I'm pretty sure IC67 is combining all the video. I have totally lost the video output signals. are video signals. Alright, I'm officially lost. Where did our video signals go? Data bus. There's a 6 megahertz clock for the sound section. This is all sound data. This is input control. Where the hell is the damn video? So even H does not have video on it. Or G doesn't have video. At least not right there. There it is. Red, green, blue. Here's our resistor network to define the colors. So colors are driven by resistor values. So if one of these resistors were open, the colors would change. Driven by 273 sitting at address 56. Which is then driven by chip number 67, which I knew exactly what it was, which is this 9349, which is actually a custom chip. Which if this chip is bad, it's going to give you one color. So I'm pretty sure I can get away with disconnecting these two boards and just working on this board here by itself for now to see if I can check to see if the CPU is actually working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook each of these boards. This board first. We have ground test points. Conveniently enough, we do not have 5-volt test points. That's nice. Why would we need 5-volt test points? That would only make sense. Interrupt. So I am just going to solder a lug onto here to give me a 5-volt test point, and my lug is just going to be header. Hey rats, how's it going? I'm fixing a Taito Wild West. Apparently it does not boot. So I just spent the last hour reading the schematic, figuring out how it works. We're playing I don't know how many players can play, but tomorrow night we're gonna play PGA 2K12. Not sure how much you're interested in playing golf. Figure it'd be something different. I think Malkaz and Blue Fox is playing Aliens. Yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna do PGA Tour 2K12. Playing with the randos. Yeah, I don't think Blue Fox or Blue Fox is in chat. He was lurking. I don't know if he's still playing or not. I don't know if they had another player or not. How was your Labor Day weekend? Do anything fun? .63 amps. Wow. That is awfully a lot of current for this board. Something doesn't seem right. And it's bouncing all over the place. Yeah, I was up at Disney. I think you saw maybe a post or two. Yeah, I think those chilling out at Epcot pretty much most of the weekend, and some Hollywood Studios. Rode Smuggler's Run. Alright, let's see if we can get this camera on this scope. No. There we go. 1.6 amps. My belly. Alright. Did you ever do anything with that crazy wiring that was in the kitchen, or did you just say fuck it and leave it the way it is? Alright, let's see if we have anything on the sink pulse. Actually, we have a clock signal right here. So we got anything in this guy? All right. Alright, there's our clock signal. Looks like we have a sync signal here. So, we got a comp signal, sync signal. Looks like this is actually working. Yeah, so this looks like it's working. So this board looks like it's actually running. So we're going to turn it off. We will now add this board back into the mix. 3 amps. Let's check the voltage. Bible. 3.3 amps. That's one chunky board. Alright, let's see if it's still resetting. Alright, so that fixed the resetting issue. A lot of reading, a lot of writing. Got a lot of video data. Cheap ass cable. It's 2 feet of cable and it's got a 0.8 volt drop across it. Alright, so I have a comp signal, a sync signal coming off the board, and I got video data, and it's no longer resetting. So what I'm going to do is go one step further and hook up the video, the last board, and see if we have anything at the video pins. Five amps. Chunky. Alright. So we have all 4 boards hooked up, or 3 boards hooked up. Let's see if we have anything on this video signals. And then we'll work our way backwards. Because he says it's not booting up at all. So that's ground. That's G2. That's G3. And blue is GC. Alright, I am seeing video data. One, 2, 3. All right. Let's see if I can find the pinout. This thing is consuming 4.8 amps as it sits. I would not recommend a generic switcher on this. This definitely needs a nice 200 watt switching power supply. Let me see if I can find the sync signal. All right. So here's our video signals here. So those are those are output signals. So we have ground, ground. And then we have, that is red. As you can see, there's a signal. That is green. See, we have a signal. This is video ground. That's a sound. And sync is on top, which is this guy here. And that is a good solid sync signal. Alright, so I'm going to wire up a monitor. So I'm going to turn the power supply off. And I'm going to solder some pins on here. Pony, thank you for the follow. I am currently working on a 1980 something, 81, 82 Wild West arcade PCB. I do not have a JAMA connector for it, so I am making a temporary one just so I can get the video signal off the board. So we have red, green, and sync. So Mr. Pony, what brings you to the channel? There we go. So, brown is ground. Then it's red. Green, blue, and sync. Alright. Description of the issue. Wild Western boots to a blue garbage screen. Both have switchers installed and good power. Thank you, Shibby, for taking care of that for me. I don't know about that other one. Who the hell? I don't even see a follow for that person. Well, as you can tell, I fixed it. See, it's magically working. So I have spent 2 hours and it's working fine. It is drawing 4.7 amps. So it is a very hunky board. It does require a pretty strong, hefty power supply. So I'm not sure. Let's see if I can fix the screen. It's all stretched out. It's all stretched. No one likes a stretched screen. So this is a very fancy, nice monitor I picked up a while ago. It does standard definition, and but it's not very doesn't sync very well, but it does show well. No, Shibby's banning all the bots. Banning the bots. Ban the bots. But it's Academy Impossible. Alright, well this is working. This is a fancy horse game. We need to get Sean Solo Beats playing this horse game. Cowboys and Indians. There we go. Now I should be able to go to vertical resolution. Lowered it down. There we go. Perfectly. Check out that low res arcade resolution. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this run for a little bit. Any of my fancy viewers got any technical questions? Or non-technical questions? Remy's looking at you. Well, it's still working. It's not broke. No one rated my channel or said anything except for Pretzel Rocks. Hi Pretzel Rocks, how are you this evening? Hope you're having a fine evening playing music for me. Alright, well, not much else I can do with this guy. I could order a JAMA adapter for it. Probably won't be a bad idea. But it looks like it's working, so. So it does look like it has a pretty extensive self-test when it first turns on. Yeah, so. Hammy dance. It's a light, very bright light. My belly. Look at that sexy logo. Look at this sexy chair. This is a Techniques gaming chair. If you're interested in picking one up, I recommend you visiting Snowpocalypse 828. He has an affiliate code. You can get 15% off if you order one. Alright, well, I'm going to call it for the night. Thanks everyone who stopped by and said hello. Thanks everyone who stopped by and lurked. Didn't say anything. Just let everyone know, 5 days to go to the Vintage Computer Festival, Midwest. Opens on Saturday, 9/11, and will run into the late hours. It is located in Illinois. They do require full face masks. Free show. It's located in Illinois, if anybody's interested. Amazon is letting me know that there's an item in my shopping cart that I still have not bought, and I probably will not buy. Thank you, Amazon. I appreciate that. All right, let's jump over here to Twitch. See if there's anybody we can raid. We're gonna go. We're gonna raid Julie Go Live. What is she doing?
What? I knew my dad. Hey, Colonel Zero.
She's eating food. Let's rate her.